What could be better than going to the beach on a hot day? Not the sunbathing girls. The best thing is visiting the beach right after a storm. Because you can find incredible things along the shore, like a car or this piece of jewelry worth $600,000. Still not impressed? Then what about a giant oil rig worth $1.1 billion? But that's still not the strangest thing ever found on a beach. Now let's explore 19 incredible things washed ashore. And finally, a giant iron rocket fragment measuring 3 by 2 meters was discovered on the coast of South Carolina. The Coast Guard contacted the Air Force and NASA, but received no response. After posting photos of the discovery online, they were immediately contacted by SpaceX. SpaceX confirmed the debris likely came from a Falcon 9 rocket. Their response was simple: remove it yourself or wait for us. And on a beach in Mexico, people discovered what looked like a real mermaid. It had a human-like face and a fishtail instead of legs, but it was actually a movie prop from Pirates of the Caribbean. It was lost during filming in 2011 and washed ashore 3 years later. What would you do first if you found a doll like this on the beach? Write it in the comments. Have you ever seen a real ghost ship? This 80-meter-long ship was stranded right near the coast. It was discovered by residents of a fishing village in Ireland. Strangely, the ship was barely damaged after hitting the coastal rocks, but that was only the smallest part of the story. The ship named Delta drifted across the ocean for 18 months without a crew, and amazingly, it remained almost completely intact. Many people called it a 1-in-a-million case. After all, it was just an abandoned ship lost at sea. Alta left Greece in 2018 and was heading toward Bermuda, but during the voyage, the ship suffered a serious technical failure. The crew spent more than 20 days on board without electricity. The abandoned ship drifted for 2 years until a storm pushed it onto Ireland's coast. Its owner and cargo are still a mystery. Locals in the Netherlands once hit the jackpot when hundreds of shipping containers washed ashore. Inside were TVS, designer clothes, IKEA furniture, and even My Little Pony toys. This was one of the largest cargo ships in the world. The ship couldn't withstand the massive waves and lost a large part of its cargo. As many as 270 containers filled with expensive equipment and items washed ashore. And the craziest part is that by law, locals could keep everything they found. What do you think they would find on the beach? A Jeep Grand Cherokee also washed onto a beach after getting stuck in wet sand during a storm. The ghost ship quickly went viral, and the internet exploded with memes. The owner had no idea his cousin had borrowed the car. That was hidden from the owner, who went out to sea during the storm. The vehicle became trapped in the wet sand, and the man abandoned the Jeep Grand Cherokee on the beach. Now, the Jeep looks like this. This is a 4-meter-long torpedo from a combat submarine. It could sink an enemy ship in just seconds. The torpedo washed ashore on the coast of Lithuania from the markings. It was identified as a Russian PMR-2 anti-mine torpedo. But it was only a training torpedo, so no explosion happened. This is not a scene from a horror movie. This monster actually washed ashore on an island in Indonesia. The sea creature was around 15 meters long. It was nearly 7 meters wide and weighed up to 35 tons. At first, locals thought it was an overturned boat, but then all kinds of theories started appearing. Its giant tusks made it look like an elephant, while its massive jaw made it resemble a dinosaur. Some local news reports even claimed it was a giant squid because some body parts looked like tentacles. But the monster was just a decomposed whale, almost impossible to recognize. Imagine finding whale vomit on the beach. You'd probably walk away thinking it was disgusting trash. But just 1 kilogram of it can be worth up to $37,000. In Thailand, a man named Sorachet found a massive 16-kilogram lump. His discovery was valued at an incredible $592,000. The substance is called ambergris, a rare material formed inside whales. It is extremely valuable in the perfume industry. Ambergris helps perfume last longer. So yes, your perfume may contain whale vomit. The way they cleaned up things washed ashore will shock you. In the 1970s, a 14-meter, 8-ton sperm whale washed onto a beach in Oregon. Local authorities came up with an absolutely crazy idea. They decided to blow up the whale with explosives. But nobody knew how much explosive was actually needed, so they used half a ton of dynamite. And everything quickly turned into complete chaos. Pieces of whale flesh flew more than 400 meters away. Whale pieces even crushed nearby cars. But what if as many as 416 whales washed ashore at once? That is exactly what happened at Golden Bay in New Zealand. Local residents were asked to leave work and school to help save the whales. When the tide rose, hundreds were guided back into the ocean. But shortly after around 90 of them returned to the shore again, volunteers had to form a human chain. They tried to stop the whales from swimming back to the beach. The problem is that whales struggle to navigate in shallow waters. And without the rest of the pod, they often return to shore. The last thing you'd expect to see on a beach is a giant $1 billion oil platform. A massive storm in New Zealand tore the 17,000-ton structure away from its tugboat, and the platform started drifting freely across the ocean. The Transocean Winner oil rig drifted for several kilometers before ending up stranded on Dalmore Beach in New Zealand. It couldn't simply be left there because it still contained around 280 tons of diesel fuel. Authorities had to create a temporary 300-meter exclusion zone to keep local residents safe. Removing the platform from the beach took 3 months and required an extremely powerful ship to move it. The recovery operation cost around $26.5 million. This mutant-looking creature was found on a beach in Mexico. It looked somewhat like a dolphin, but it had an unusually long tail, and most importantly, no eyes, local fishermen suggested. It may have drifted from a nearby ocean trench. It likely came from deep underwater, where sunlight never reaches, and eyes are useless. The creature's skull looked like a monkey, and its teeth were strangely human-like. It may have escaped from Monkey Island, located about 64 kilometers from the discovery site in South Carolina. Locals claimed the monkeys were used for experiments. An even stranger creature was found in Texas. From a distance, it looked like a fish. But it looked more like a snake. It had a mouthful of sharp teeth and no eyes. Eel expert Dr. Kenneth Tagg suggested it was a snake eel. Its name translates to terrible snake. Have you ever seen conjoined twin dolphins on the coast of Dakili? People discovered a terrifying two-headed creature. One head had 2 underdeveloped eyes, the other had only 1 eye and an unopened blowhole. The dolphin was completely white and extremely rare, A similar creature was also found in the North Sea. That was not Noah's Ark. It was a 60-meter barge that washed onto Hobe Sound Beach in Florida after a storm. The mooring lines in the harbor had snapped. The 40-ton vessel became uncontrollable. It drifted through the ocean for an entire day. Then it washed ashore onto a crowded beach. Removing the barge had to wait for better weather. Workers tied it to a bulldozer to keep it ashore. On this beach, amber lies right beneath the locals' feet. A single stone can be worth anywhere from $0 to $700, depending on its size. After storms, huge amber chunks wash ashore, some as big as a Zippo lighter. That's why locals in Yentarni hunt for them. Just look at this guy's catch. On the coast of Ireland, you can find almost anything, but this time it was a 6-meter wooden boat with strange messages written on its walls. Its owner was identified 3 years later in Canada. He was a supporter of alternative energy. He installed solar panels on the boat and planned to sail from Newfoundland to the Arctic. When the project failed, he set the boat to drift with a strange message inside. It drifted over 3,120 kilometers before washing ashore on Drum Beach Island. This warship wreck is 78 years old, buried beneath nearly 2 meters of sand on the beach. The HMS LCT 3268 washed ashore after sinking somewhere off the coast of North Wales. The wreck surfaced only 3 times before the sea buried it again. Its location is kept secret, so tourists can't steal pieces as souvenirs. That's all the strange discoveries for today, but who knows what we'll find on the beach tomorrow. And there will definitely be something interesting again. See you in the next video.